And I would now like to ask Yehuda Glick.
Sure you like?
Yes, of course I do.
He's a nice guy, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the problem with him. He's a nice guy.
He is an American-born Israeli rabbi, because of being a nice guy. He campaigns for expanding Jewish access to the Temple Mount. He's currently, for a few months only, a member of the Knesset for Likud, having taken the place of former Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon in May 2016. He's also the leader of a coalition of groups, of civil society groups, dedicated to reaching complete and comprehensive freedom and civil rights for Jews on the Temple Mount. So, Yehuda, I also have a question for you, as you may have expected already. You were elected to the list of Likud as representative of Judea and Samaria, and you said you would promote the rights of the settlers when in the Knesset.
When?
When in the Knesset. From another perspective, the settlers are seen as the main impediment towards reaching peace and reaching a two-state solution. What can and what should be done to make the settlers a force supporting the two-state solution? And I would like to ask you the same question I asked Glick. Can the two-state solution also become an idea of the conservative part of Israeli society? What is necessary to do to change the social discourse in support of that idea?
Okay, whoa. Shalom, everybody. Wonderful to see you all here at this time in the afternoon, which I usually fall asleep when I'm listening to lectures. I'll try to keep it not boring so that you don't fall asleep. But I apologize if I do, and as soon as I reach my time, you'll pick up a sign, help, and I'll stop immediately. I was actually looking at the sign we have over here, the Hebrew and the English, which don't say the exact same thing, but then I understood those are the question and the answer. In Hebrew it says, what are the things that block towards a peace agreement? And the English is the answer, a two-state solution. That is the main block to a peaceful solution here in Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you, including Mr. Ambassador, including Mr. Glick and all the other guests here, I strongly respect and honor and evaluate your efforts and your true belief in peace in this region. I request that you also respect the fact that today we have a government where at least 40 of the 65 representatives of it think that a two-state is not a solution. It is what is causing the greatest of anti-peace in this region. The illusion that there will be one day a two-state or a Palestinian state the side of Israel. I'm here today as a peace activist, as a human rights activist, as a settler of Judea and Samaria. I meet on a daily basis with the Palestinians. I'm not talking with the leaders of the Palestinians who mainly were brought here as gangsters, and 30,000 of them from Tunisia. I'm talking about those who live here, my next door neighbors, those who I speak to them on a daily basis. They do not want to live by any reasons under a Palestinian authority. They don't want it. They know that it's an anti-human rights authority. They know their standard of living will be much lower than what they can have. They want a one-state, Jewish one-state. We in Israel have proved in the 70 years of our existence, we've made a lot of mistakes. We've made mistakes. But we have proven that we can give our minorities full human rights. We have professors, directors of colleges, pharmacists, people working in every single engineers in high tech who are a part of the Arab population. And if any one of them, if you would ask him, what do you want? Do you want to keep your Israeli citizenship or become a Palestinian? Not one of them will agree to become a Palestinian. So why do we want to punish? Why does an Arab living in Hebron have to suffer different than an Arab living in Taiba or El-Fahim? And therefore, in my eyes, the only peaceful, humane, human rights solution, true solution, which will be a solution, because a two-state will not be a solution. You're talking, Glick, about against managing the conflict. You think after two states we're not going to have to manage a conflict? The only thing is that we're going to have another conflict, and our situation will be in a worse situation. We will be weak. We'll have a smaller part to protect. Just a few years ago, they were explaining to us, logically, there are 5,000 Jews living amongst 1.5 million Palestinians in Gaza, and they're suffering missiles every single day. Let's uproot them, and there won't be any more missiles. And you know what? They were right. Ever since we uprooted Gush Katif, there's not been a single missile in Gush Katif. There have been many missiles in Israel, in Tel Aviv, in Ashdod, in Beersheba, in Ashkelon. By the way, I was the highest rank civil servant who resigned from the government because of the disengagement program. I was director of the Ministries of Absorption's Southern District, and I resigned, and I wrote a letter to Mrs. Tzipi Livni, who was at the time my minister, and I told her, there are going to be missiles in Ashkelon. And she told me, you're a devil's advocate. And she was right, because I didn't think there would be in Beersheba, and Ashdod, and Tel Aviv. Ladies and gentlemen, because when every single time I pass by, the Palestinians living right next to me, and I see their standard of living, and I see the health care they receive, I see the low level of infrastructure, and I think, why should they be deprived of what I have? Why can I take my child to the Soroka Medical Center, which is a world modern medical center, and the Arabs living in Hebron have 10 hospitals, which are all on a very low level? Why don't they deserve the same services that I deserve? In mentioning my biography, Dr. Werner, you didn't point out something else. This week in Israel, we are marking the date of 3 assassinations that took place in Israel. 2 of them, the assassins succeeded. Late Prime Minister Rabin, and Minister Ze'evi. In the Wikipedia page of assassination survivors in the history of the 20th century, there are like 70 of them. There's only 1 from Israel. Thank God, here I am standing in front of you. Thank God I survived. I'm alive. And I believe, as a faithful Jew, that God gave me my life because my mission has not been over. My mission is to speak up about Jerusalem, which means Ir Shalom, city of peace. A city where we can today live after 67. Before 67, we had barbed wires. We had Jordanian soldiers shooting at us. Today, Jerusalem is a city of peace. Yes, I know there are obstacles. Yes, I know we've made mistakes in East Jerusalem. Those mistakes can be fixed. But today, the surgeon who operated on my chest was a Muslim doctor. I live in a settlement called Otniel. In the past year, my next door neighbor from the right side and from the left side were killed in terror attacks. In all the cases, Palestinians came to pay their condolence visits. In one of the cases, a Palestinian doctor took care of the wounded civilian. And all of those Palestinians tell us again and again, the majority of the people living in our settlements don't want to live under, I don't want to use dirty words, the criminal Palestinian Authority. They want to live the way you are living. They want to live in a modern society. There is no way the Palestinian state, which you people are dreaming, and in my eyes is a nightmare, there is no way they're going to have human rights, not for women, not for homosexuals, not for anybody else. There's no way they're going to have a modern standard of living. Therefore, I strongly support a one Jewish state which strongly recognizes 100% civil rights for every single one of its citizens, and especially to its minorities. And we will learn from our mistakes, but we will not endanger the very existence of the state of Israel. Glick says we're endangering the Jewish state. I don't think so. But the Palestinian state near Israel is endangering the very existence of the Jewish state at all, of a state at all. And I do not want to take any chances. I think twice we were guinea pigs in Gaza and in Oslo. And thousands and thousands of Palestinians and Israelis have paid the price. And I don't think we should teach terror that they benefit from what they do. And therefore, I call upon you, people from the international world and people from the local world. Respect the fact that we have other opinions. Respect the fact that I want peace and human rights no less than anybody else. Respect the fact that I'm sincere with my desire for peace here. And respect the fact that I also have another opinion. And today, in Israel's democratic society, we've been elected as the government, and we hope to be a stable government for at least the next few years. And in this period of time, there are Jews and Palestinians living together in Judea and Samaria. The Jews are not going anywhere. The Palestinians are not going anywhere. The options of a two-state solution have been turned down by the Palestinians several times. I'm not going to repeat. Olmert, Barak, 67, 48. Today they're living there. And I'll finish in less than a minute. I have 2 minutes, I'll finish in a minute. I give you 1 minute change. There are people living there, and they're not going anywhere. And no matter what the solution will be at the end, whether it's the disastrous two-state solution or it's the wonderful one-state solution, they need infrastructure. So why don't we build roads? The people who are going to drive there, whatever nationality they have, let's build the infrastructure. Why are the roads there still third world roads? Why is everything there? Why don't we today work together to build hospitals that are combined, that all the population can live from? We have built grocery stores. Rami Levi in Gush Etzion, Rami Levi in Binyamin. You see the people living there. In Bar Khan, the industry area, we see Palestinians working there as engineers in high-tech firms. They get the same exact rights and the same exact social level of standard of their job as the Israeli ones. By the way, every time anybody who takes part in the boycott of settlement products, the first people who are suffering from that are those Palestinian workers. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go towards peace, towards hope, towards a one-state solution which recognizes and gives full civil rights to all of its civilians. Thank you very much.